Hey, welcome to What's That All About? Kind of in a different location today. Oh my God, my call is up. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna leave it up. It looks kind of retro, like 80s or something. Doggy's sleeping, so I'm out in the living room again. And she's snoring kind of loud this time, so I decided to let her just to stay. And there's no saying that she won't just come right up and be like, "What are you doing?" Anyway, today's episode is very disturbing. It's very disturbing. Um, I'm hopeful that it is not something that is still practiced, but I don't want to give too much credit where it's not due. Our government's a finicky little bitch, isn't it? And that goes across all party lines, it goes across all legislative branches, and everything. Things are a little tense, as we all know right now. Things are a little tense. And I, for one, am so sick and tired of not feeling like my vote matters for anything. And as a woman, knowing that, just on that front alone, we've already had some significant setbacks, we'll call them, and I'm just afraid of what could be coming down the pike if we don't face them now and just rectify the wrongs that seem to be spreading like a corrosive disease across our entire country. It's a lot of anger out there. Something like this probably won't help, but it is something that's happened. And it's something that should be discussed and understood. Well, you'll never understand it. I don't think, well, any of us could ever understand the reason behind this, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. Okay, here we go. 1953, the CIA began an illegal, first of all, I mean, I'm like a couple words in, and a word called illegal human experiment, that phrase alone, a program designed to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken people and force confessions. First of all, the thing that really stuck out, like a sore thumb on this is that forcing confessions just aren't always the truth. So it's almost like they don't even care about the truth. Wait, that sounds familiar. Okay. Anyway, they do this through brainwashing and psychological torture. Now, this program is called, I'm going to say was called, um, MK Ultra. According to files released, numerous methods were used to manipulate its subjects, mental states, and brain functions, which included using LSD, a psychoactive drug. Okay. Other chemicals were also used, all of which were done without consent of the subjects, meaning people, other citizens, or civilian or military, it doesn't matter. They were not told, things were not disclosed. Okay. Man, among the tricks of the trade that the CIA used during these interrogations, or actually the brainwashing discovery point of the experiment experiment, they used electroshock, hypnosis, sensory sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal abuse, and the cherry on top, sexual abuse. I personally cannot fathom that people were subjected to, like, life's not hard enough, and people were subjected to sexual abuse for the government's, they were used like disposable nothings. I mean, these are people. Eh, God, I guess some people really were just born without a conscience. I There's so many of them out there I never thought existed, but there they are. Got jobs in the government. Settled right in, didn't they? Oh my God. All right. MK Ultra was preceded by two drug-related experiments, Project Bluebird and Project Artichoke. This was organized by the CIA's Office of Scientific Intelligence and coordinated directly with the United States Army Biological Warfare Laboratories. Programs that were illegal, also illegal. So it took unwitting subjects from both the United States and Canada. Jeez. Anyway, the program was also widespreading. So, in other words, all across Canada and in the United States, even outside of military facilities, there were experiments going on at colleges and universities. They were pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, prisons. Oh, prisons were used. I mean, granted, I know criminals and stuff, but I, they're still people, you know? Although if they were like rapists and killers and stuff, then go right ahead, have at it. The MK Ultra program was supposedly shut down in 1973. That's got to be the most hysterical thing I read about all of this. Now, it first got public attention though, okay, in 1975 by the Church Committee of the United States Congress and General Gerald Ford's United States President's Commission on CIA Activities within the United States, also known as the Rockefeller Commission. Okay, now that investigative effort was, of course, thwarted by then CIA head director Richard Helms. And now he had ordered in 1973 that all MK Ultra files be destroyed. But, okay, in 1977, a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, I use FOIA a lot. It was uncovered. This is staggering. There was more than 20,000 documents relating to MK Ultra found. So, and there was more that came out actually in July of 2001, but it did lead to Senate hearings back in 1977. So, now, one of the most notable events that occurred as a direct result of MK Ultra was the death of Frank Olson. Now, he was a United States Army biochemist and biological weapons researcher. He was given LSD without his knowledge or consent in November of 1953 as part of a CIA experiment. Something, whoops, something to note here is that Frank, in his medical file, like he worked for the government, so they had all this disclosed. He was prone to depression. LSD is basically an enormous magnifying glass for your brain to become more depressed, become hallucinogenic, all of these horrible things. And if he's already prone to depression, he was not right after that, not right after this. And of course, like I said, he had no clue that they did it to him until like 20 minutes after he took it. And then the mind fuck really started happening. Poor thing. Now, as part of the he had a United States um like CIA doctor that was assigned to him, and he was supposed to be monitoring him. Okay, now Frank, as part of this experiment, as a direct result of this experiment, he actually, the first story was he threw himself out of a 13 story, there's that number 13 again, a 13-story hotel room window and died, obviously, from his fall. But there was a CIA doctor assigned to monitor him and watch him. Okay. He claimed he had been asleep in another bed, not another room, people, another bed in the same room as Frank Olson. Okay. When he supposedly got himself out this window. Oh my God. The Olson family disputed the events as they were recounted to them, obviously. A few days before his death, Frank had quit his position as acting chief of the Special Operations Division at Fort Detrick. due to severe, he said, severe moral crisis. Okay. He was concerned about the nature of his biological weapons research and what the CIA was going to be doing with it and what already was doing with it. Okay. Among his concerns were the development of assassination materials used by the CIA's use of biological warfare materials in covert operations and materials collaboration with former Nazi scientists, also known as Operation Paperclip. Now, the LSD mind control research and the use of psychoproactive drugs during his biggest concern was their use during, get this, terminal interrogations under Project Artichoke. Terminal interrogations. Holy shit. Okay. In 1994, Olson's body was exhumed. The coroner did an examination. It was found that he had cranial injuries, which indicated that Olson had been knocked unconscious before being pushed out the window. The medical examiner changed the result of his death to homicide. Take that in for a second. Holy crap. In 1975, the Olson family received $750 in a settlement from the government. They also got formal apologies from President Ford and the then CIA director, William Colby. Now, on November 28th, 2012, the Olson family filed suit against the US federal government for wrongful death of Frank, which would have been probably dead on arrival, and it was kind of, I mean, by July of 2013, it was tossed out because they had accepted that $750,000 settlement between them and the government. So, unfortunately, didn't go very far. But this is horrifying. Do you not agree? I mean, this is something that just it almost happened as I mean, it's like it's a horrifying moment in American history that, even Hollywood has become such a big product, like, they use it as, topic for movies like, Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson and, Julia Roberts, Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson, who I love, and The Manchurian Candidate. I mean, those are classic. And then American Ultra, that's a more recent one with Kristen Stewart. And even that show, that super popular show, Stranger Things, that little poor little 11, she was subjected to MK Ultra techniques as well. It's awful. And then Netflix has a series that actors are in. So it's almost like it's weird. There's episodes for it, but it's done with oh, what is his name? Oh, I'm so sorry. But anyway, I know the show's name is Wormwood, and it is basically the story of what happened to Frank Olson, and it goes through his entire story. And it's phenomenal. It's disturbing, but it's phenomenal because you learn so much. You won't sleep very well, but you learn a lot. And I don't know. This whole thing, it's one of those, just leaves a bad taste in your mouth about a lot of things, and you wonder how much we really know about anything, really. I mean, we're told one thing, but and then it's proven not true. Or, I mean, look at alien technology, for instance, right? I know that, you say knowledge is power. That's why I do these episodes, because I do believe that telling people about stuff that they may not know in their everyday lives is important. I think it's good to know stuff like this that has dirt all over, and it's not pretty, and it's not, one of those clean cut, like, oh, happy ending things. It's good to know things because knowledge is power. But people in the government and in other powerful positions don't want you to have knowledge, not too much anyway, because they don't even understand, say, like, I know I just said aliens, it's like the technology I think that they have already in their possession. I don't think the aliens are gonna tell them how to use it until they're goddamn good and ready, and when they're sure that we're not just gonna blow ourselves up. Because the people in control, their egos need to be checked. They need to be checked. They need to just be humbled and understand that they're not gonna understand every single thing. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you don't understand it. Let them explain it to you. Explain, then you can explain it to us. But here's the thing, the disconnect is you won't explain it to us. You won't. I know you won't. It's like government cannot be trusted, and that is not where I want to be. I had a relative that has passed away, but I mean, she worked for the FBI for 37 years. I'm hearing left, right, and center how the FBI should be defunded. I mean, they're this they're an institution of this country, and they're supposed to be doing all the right things, and, you know, allegiance to the country and all this, and it's you just wonder how much power is enough. It's never enough for some people. I don't even want power, I just want understanding. I want people to listen to each other, that's all I want. I want people to be silly again and not feel like delusional because you're like forcing yourself to laugh at things, and because it's a fucking shit show out there. Sorry, I will now be hopping off said soapbox. I'm sorry, I get a little worked up about stuff like this because I find it um, a little disconcerting. That's all. And I think it's because I have been, my husband's away at work and the dog doesn't really stop me from doing things like this. But I hope until next time, I hope you're all doing well and staying happy and healthy, and stay weird, and take care of each other. Bye.